When guns were illegal, it wasn't really as bad as you think. Or wasn't it? So when guns were legal, we had the atrocity in Scotland. I forgot what it was called, but you had some crazy man with a gun go in and kill a lot of children up there. I forgot what that was called. Let me think. Anyway, if anyone knows out there the incident I'm talking about, let us know, people. It's there, but I just can't bring it to the forefront. That's it, the Dublin massacre in Scotland. So, you know, that's at a time when you could have handguns and all this stuff. And his name was Thomas Hamilton. And he, you know, went crazy with a firearm that was legal and ended up killing loads of children in the Dublin massacre. So you can't really say that. The bottom line is guns are no good for anyone. You know, we're in a country where eventually you're going to have the majority of policemen with firearms. Why? Because you've got a lot of criminals carrying firearms, and there's loads of innocent individuals getting caught up in the mix of organised crime groups and their disputes. For example, the funeral in London, where you've got that 7-year-old girl in a critical condition whose mum was also shot. And that attack by a gunman was a 22-year-old individual that's now being arrested. We don't know whether he's going to get charged, but you've got to look at the ages of these gunmen these days. You've got to understand where I'm coming from when I'm speaking about it. You've also got Chapman, who was 22 years old when he committed the murder of Ellie Edwards. And it continues, and it's only going to get worse, people. So that's what you need to understand. It's the children and their mindsets that are being influenced by these notorious gunmen that get a big name within their city or their environment, and they influence other kids to follow suit because of the fear factor, because of the pull and the notoriety that these young gunmen achieve once they've let a few shots off and maimed or killed someone. Yes, real talk. I hope you're well, mate. It's nice to have you in. So let's move along, people. Let's keep the conversation flowing. How have you been? What's been going on in your lives? What I'm noticing an awful lot over the last couple of months is a lot of people dying by RTAs, road traffic accidents. You're seeing all ages, you're seeing all types of road traffic accidents where individuals are ending up dead. There was one in Cronton over the water, I think it is, today. A 30-year-old man in a Range Rover Sport drove straight into a wall. You've got a young lad, a couple of months just before Christmas, getting off the bus from school, running out in front of another car, and he got put in a critical condition in hospital. And there's plenty of more. It's very unnerving knowing guns are legally here. I can imagine, lad. I can only imagine, mate. And all of a sudden, everyone's not really aware of the roads anymore. I don't know whether it's to do with headphones. You know, headphones have a big part in people not paying attention to the noises and the things that can put them in danger because they've got these sounds in their ears that just cut out, you know, the outside awareness, if you like, the noises and the activity from outside is just completely cut off when they put headphones on and have the music blasting. I'm not putting it all down to that, but, you know, You had that young girl that got killed by a lorry on the motorway as well. So it's quite nasty what's going on, isn't it? Headphones are a big contribution to RTCs. People just cross now at Pelican Crossings without looking, just following the lights and not thinking a car might have ran a red. Defo, mate. And that's what, you know, we're all caught up in the gun crimes and the knife crimes, and there's a lot more dangers out there. I think I said the other month, that's a witness to the point, isn't it? You know, she's lost a friend through exactly what I've just been speaking about. That's going to be one of them images that probably won't leave your mind forever. You know, you're always going to have a little think about that. We got King English saying my friend did too, headphones on a pedal bike. So it is what it is, people. Start encouraging your kids. You remember years ago, when I was in school before I got expelled at the age of 12 or 13, we used to get taught the Sutton Code, the Red Cross Code or something like that. I forgot what it's called. Can anyone remember what I'm on about? But it used to show you, like, it used to give you things like the green light, the amber lights, stop, look and listen, be aware of your surroundings, all that sort of stuff we used to get taught. I think that's being took out the curriculum, hasn't it? Okay, that's it, the Green Cross Code. Do you remember that, people? The Green Cross Code? Where's that gone? Don't they teach that anymore? Don't they teach that no more? It's mad, isn't it? There's loads of different things, isn't there? Where, you know, drivers may not be paying close attention when it comes to like mobile phones, drink driving, drug driving. There's all sorts of things. And as we know, people, you know, criminals now use some cars as dangerous weapons. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can relate to that in the sense of in the sense of, you know, I've got no reason to lie. It's in my past, it's in my experience, my situations that I've left long behind. But, you know, it was a known fact. If we wanted to push someone to bed without going to prison, would simply go and buy a car that didn't have MOT, damage the brakes on it, and then just whack whoever you wanted to put to bed with it. I know it sounds brutal. It sounds very malicious, and it is. But the way we were thinking back in the day, you know, how can we put into bed without going to jail? And a car came into the conversation. And basically, the bottom line's this. If you go and buy a car without the MOT and play with its brakes, all of a sudden someone gets put over the bonnet by accident. When they do their, you know, scientific investigation, it'll come back. The car had bad brakes and it had no MOT. It wasn't fit for the road. It's a complete accident. Do you understand? But the majority of the criminals these days think they can have their own car or a car that's legit on the roads. It's got a full MOT. It's in safe condition. And then they're just putting people over the bonnet. And it's happened quite a few times in the city of Manchester and Liverpool. And that's an old way of, you know, it was an old tactic. It was an old strategy of individuals who wanted to hurt people. I think you may have heard in the past where, you know, I've been bonneted whilst I was on my licence, and it absolutely crushed me side. When I was in St Helens, I'm on my bike, I'm cruising, I see this car looking at me, I think, wow, this is trying to get me. I lose it, take a few corners, thinking I'm safe haven, and then bam, puts me right over the bonnet, and then bails. And if you can see as I'm sat here now, you can see me sat here. You see that shoulder? It's up here. You see that one's down a bit. This side of my body is like squashed in, and my leg and my foot turns out a little bit. I took it. I had no choice but to take it. I took it, got back on my bike and bailed, because that's what you've got to do. If I would have lied there on the deck, they probably would have jumped out, done me further damage. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I've took that. Years ago, when I was a kid, that was only that was what? 2017 in St Helens, that, people. It hurt, and I think it was the shock that helped me get on my feet and bail. And my body's not been the same since. It's like this side of my body's crushed from toe. But I'm all right. Do you understand? It hasn't damaged me in the sense of being physical in any way or nothing. But it is. You can see the way one shoulder's lower and one shoulder's higher, and on the same side, my foot and my leg is twisted a little bit. You know, it's not straight. And years ago, like I said, it was the front of the car, mate. Football, it was the front of the car. I think the witnesses at the time were pretty shocked they got up. They were all, "Are you all right?" I'm just going, "Yeah, it's sound." Screeching back to Pigger Street in Mossbank. Got in and just went, just put a big fat joint in me to kill the pain.